Hello and welcome.
So it's a pleasure to have you with us here on New Zealand Grand Prix Day for the New Zealand Superbike Championships 2021. We are in Christchurch at Ruapuna Park, Mike Pero Motorsport Park. And here is the track. It's 3.3 kilometres long, goes in an anti-clockwise direction, and there are 9 turns in all for the riders to negotiate. And it is going to be a testing time for all the riders, as it always is here in Christchurch. Really looking forward to seeing how all of the riders negotiate this track today, and what is a very prestigious day on the calendar of New Zealand motorsport. So here is the track. It's 3.44 kilometres long, and it's a very open part of, or a very open circuit for the first half of the race, with a long main straight and also a long second long straight after the first corner. Neil Ritchie is with me as well to help the viewers explain the track. Neil, good afternoon. And I was just mentioning 3.44 kilometres. So as they hitting the Flexo Players corner here on turn number 1, what are the riders looking to achieve through there?
Well, certainly from a racing point of view, you're talking about it at its most intense. So you've just done it, particularly from the start. You've really got there. There might be a slight kink in it, but you've got them at full speed. So it's a matter of getting that line on the inside and getting round through there at speed. And it's not as if, although it actually turns more than 90 degrees, it's doing it more gently. So you've got to get your exit to the corner right. And remembering, of course, that you then go along the Liqua Moly straight. As you notice, it's got a little bit of a curve. So, and that curve is against where you've just come. So you've come from a round corner to then come in a little bit tighter again. So it's the exit, and you'll actually notice at times some people have really got that. And we looked at the sidecar race early where we had a bit of a run taken, so that was great. Then we're looking here around Icon, coming down here into this hairpin. It is really a hairpin. That is super tight there. Glenn, man, I tell you what, you literally go back on yourself. It is so tight, and for those bikes to be leaning it right over, that is hard work. So yeah, great corner and a great spectacle on the track.
And then it's quite technical through the next part into turn 4, Fulton Hogan, and then coming down to the Casino Carousel.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, this Fulton Hogan corner is terrific, and you only got to ask Caleb Gilmore what happened yesterday. He's putting it down to the fact that he was too slow going into the corner. He wasn't aggressive enough, and he just wasn't concentrating on the line. Got what's called the ripple strip, caught the edge of the track on the corner, and it shot him off to the side of the track. So there you go, a rider that says he was going too slow and crashed. Normally you think of it as the other way around. So
indeed.
Yeah, and all the visitors here will tell you, Glenn, this is a very technical track. There's a lot of thinking out there to do the whole thing, and very rarely does a rider do a perfect lap. There'll be something that you've just missed time, miscalculated, braking, gear change or something, because you're learning and learning the whole time.
And then we're heading into turn number 7 and turn number 8 as we get into this course, part of the track, Neil, which is used exclusively for motorcycling.
Yeah, indeed. It's called the Dipper. So when the cars come out of the Southern Salvage S's, it's just a nice, gentle flow. But we come into this Dipper, called the Dipper because literally it's a sunken part of the track. So we come through a little bit of a hollow. So you're effectively following the G's of what the bike's doing. So you go going into the corner, so it's got a slight camber. All the other corners are flat. You think of a Manfield and a Manawatu, or think of the hill at Pukekohe. They're contouring and they're flowing with the racing. You've got a dead flat area, and the corners are flat as well. But luckily for the Dipper, it contours. So first of all, up on the right-hand side, so you tuck to the left, and then when you get right into the heart of it, the track's coming right up here on the left-hand side, so you're right down and on the right. So,
and then we've got a wonderful sweeper to end the lap before the riders, power up down the main straight.
And if you think about it from a geometry point of view, put a protractor there. Think your days with a compass at school, Glenn, and that's exactly what it is. It's a beautiful corner. So if you can just get it right, hold that speed on and get around, you'll notice, in fact, you think, why are they going so wide? Because you can see so much of the track back on the inside. But they're effectively turning the entry point to the exit point, not the two inside lines. That makes it too tight. So you get that big, that's why it's called a sweeper. You're getting that big sweep, and they can come and exit out wide and then snug the wall and come down.
And that brings the riders back to the start-finish line to complete one lap. So there is a good look at the track here at Ruapuna, the Mike Pirro Motorsport Park track, 3.44 kilometres long. Sky Sport Next. We're at the Mike Pirro Motorsport Park, just out of Christchurch, Ruapuna, and what's going to be a fantastic afternoon of Superbike action. We have races coming up in 7 classes, and it's going to be a great thrill to see how these races unfold. First up, we've got the 16-lapper for the Superbikes, and joining me, Glenn Lama, and commentary is Brad Ritchie. Brad, you do a great job, and this is going to be a cracking race to kick off the afternoon session.
Yep, sun's out. This is going to be brilliant. Good crowd in here at Mike Perry Motorsport Park. And feature-length races coming up on the program. The start of it, the big one, the 16-lap Superbike New Zealand Grand Prix race. This is the third and final race for them of the weekend. And we give away the New Zealand Grand Prix title, incorporated with our first round of our New Zealand Superbike Championships. Like we said, big welcome to all the viewers, and this is going to be absolutely brilliant. We've had lap record pace in qualifying from our big guns, and 2 different race winners already this weekend, Glenn, so shaping up to be a thriller. Yeah,
it's going to be fantastic. We've got 7 classes, as I touched on, and we're going to have the Superbike race first up, and then that will be followed by the Pro Twins race, and then we'll have the Super Sport 600s, the 300s, the 150s, and then we'll finish the program with the sidecars, and then the 250 production race coming up to end the program today. So we're getting a good look at some of these riders now, and this is going to be interesting because this is the 3rd race, Brad, for all of these riders coming up this weekend, and you know, with so much prestige associated with this race, what are you expecting is, you know, at the weekend in terms of tactics has been at play here for the riders?
Yeah, so this one is all on. These guys are going to take this one really seriously. The Grand Prix title, and we've got a shortened 4-round season this year, so these championship points that are up for grabs are certainly very, very valuable, and we've got anywhere up to about 8 guys that can win this race right here. So there's a lot of factors. It's a 16-lap race in the hot, hot sun. Tyres are a factor. There's going to be stamina. These boys have just backed up a race about an hour and a half ago. So yeah, there's a number of different factors at play here, and all on here. Once the visors go down and we go racing, it's going to be all on.
Yeah, and conditions are perfect. It was a bit drizzly overnight, a bit cool this morning, but thankfully that cloud has vanished, no rain, and we've got just a nice high cloud over Ruapuna at the moment. It's quite warm out there, maybe temperatures around 23, 24 degrees, so ideal racing conditions, do you think?
Yeah, probably just got a little bit hot in the track temperature. Maybe earlier this morning, you want that track temperature around 40 degrees is about an optimum temperature for these slick tyres. But this one here, it does get a little bit slippery and breaks up a little bit in this temperature. But these guys are the best of the business. So this will be all on here. We've got bike issues all sorted out at Team Rees Honda. So they'll be very, very happy and excited. Damo taking race 1 honours, but then having to pull in with a mechanical. So yeah, this was anyone's at the moment.
Yeah. Indeed it is. So it's going to be a hot race. We've got Nelson's Alistair Hugenbosom, who's going to start on pole for this race. He won the 2nd race of the weekend earlier today, but didn't finish the 1st race. And then Damon Rees, of course, winning yesterday's race, but DNFing earlier today with a mechanical problem. So they're going to be the top 2 on the grid, which is lining up now. And the other 2 on the front row are Mitch Rees, Damon's brother, and Sloane Frost.
Yeah, so Sloane, a former Superbike champion himself. You've got plenty of action in here. Daniel Medham, Jaden Hassan. There's 3 guys in here that are former Superbike champions, and we've also got our defending Superbike champion, the #1 machine on the Blue Crew Yamaha. And a big shout out to all the Blue Crew team here. They've come out in force, and good to see Cam, the legend behind Holland Collision Repairs. He's here in the crowd as well. So this is going to be brilliant. We're going to love this one. 16-lap Superbike New Zealand Grand Prix title up for grabs. The grid marshals are pretty happy with everyone forming up. Once they walk in, then they initiate the lights. The lights come on in a big block of 5. Once they go out, we go racing. And these guys here, the best of the business, about to drop the hammer and go racing for the 16-lap New Zealand Grand Prix title here at Mike Perry Motorsport Park. The marshals are in. We're all happy. Waiting for the lights. When they come on, they stage on 5 at a time. Once they go out, we're away.
Here we go. It's the New Zealand Grand Prix for 2021, and it's a great start by David Rees. As the wheels go up, heading towards the first corner. Fantastic start by Rees, and he's going to go to corner #1 in first place.
Yeah, that's a dream start from Damo Rees. He's He's just done everything right there, and he leads it in there. Out of turn one we go. It looks like both of the Honda boys are pretty handy to the pace. Al Hoogie, he got a good start as well. So this is all on. Our big contenders are all up the front. We've got Team Rees 1-2. Looks to be Jake Lewis, one of the Yamaha Blue Crew, going to try and have a look up the inside. So a change for second position. That's a good move from Jake Lewis on the number 29 machine. He's now up into second place. That's Mitchell Rees back in third. And Alistair Hugenbotham has got himself right in the party as well. So top four at the moment. A little bit of work to do, and all playing in the hands of little Damon Rees, the 92 machine. He is flying into the Christchurch Casino Carousel for the first time. We go back to Blue Crew Yamaha in second place with 29 of Jake Lewis, the 62 of Mitchell Rees in third place, and then our defending Superbike champion is the hometown hero. He's going to try and get himself in the mix. He's not quite close enough for a move there. All coming alive here. This is going to be brilliant. 16 laps of fury, and all on the line here, Glenn.
Yeah, so Rees coming in with about 3 corners to go until the end of the first lap. He is the defending champion. Hugenbotham finished in second place last year. Lachlan Ebbers was in third place, but Rees has made a great start as they enter the sweeper to come down the home straight to complete the first lap. So Rees got a good length, a good lead here, and he's made a terrific start, hasn't he? These bikes hit 260 k's down the main straight. 133.9 was the lap for Damon Rees as he goes into quad.
Absolutely brilliant. Al Hoogie at the inside of Mitchell Rees, so a change of third position as well. So we've got Team Yamaha 2 and 3 at the moment. So Al Hoogie, he's conscious of the fact that if Damon Rees breaks free, they'll never catch him. So Al's got to get in front of his teammate and try and get after him. There's a decent gap, about 10 odd bike lengths as they brake hard into the brilliant Euromark left-hander here at Mike Perro Motorsport Park, Ruapuna. Mitchell Rees is trying to get in the mix too. He's not happy with this, so trying to get right back into it. This is going to be 16 laps, and these guys are already going for it. Glenn, hammer and tongs at the moment.
Yeah, Rees' his advantage over the first lap was 0.8 of a second, so he's got a pretty decent lead early, although we are in a 16-lap race. There is a lot of track to go, but Rees is holding that margin at the moment. Jake Lewis currently in second place. He's finished the weekend with 2 fourth placings so far. You've been surprised to see him up there in second place at the moment, Brad?
Oh, no, he's the hometown hero. He's a former New Zealand 600 Supersport champion. He's done a lot of laps around here, and he is a former European Junior Cup champion from when he was racing in Europe in 2013, so packed full of experience, a really smooth, neat and tidy rider, and he's really just turned it on here in front of his home fans.
So here comes Rees through the sweeper again to complete the second lap of 16, and he's holding a similar margin to what he had after the first lap. No changes in the minor placings, and Rees' time there 1:30.3. He's leading the moment 0.824 of a second.
He's absolutely fine. Al Hoogie's still no answer for his teammate at the moment, so it's still Jake Lewis holding on to second place. Al's trying to find a way around him, because this one here is all on at the moment. Damon Rees cannot run away with it, though. These guys are on hot pace at the moment, and Scotty Moyer's got himself in the mix as well. So this top 5 really coming alive as we go through the Euromark left-hander down into second gear. Most of them hold second gear through here. Depends how your bike's geared. You can click third going through Fulton Hogan, but on a 16-lap race, tyre conservation's the name of the game, so these guys will be on a setting that'll just have it all neat and tidy through there. Don't want to wheel spin too much. A long race in this hot weather, Glenn.
Indeed. Now, Damon Rees is the record lap holder here at Ruapuna, 129.189 seconds. He did that almost to the day 12 months ago. In fact, 2 days in 2 days' time to the year. So Damon Rees on hot form 12 months ago, and he's made a cracking start here as they come into this tight section. Still no change to the minor places. Lewis has actually just dropped at third. There's a nice move from Hugenbotham, who's come up into second. And now let's see if Hugenbotham can move forward and try and reel in this margin that Rees has built up early.
Yeah, that was a big moment from Jake Lewis. Just lit the back wheel up and hopped them up out of the seat. So lucky to hang on to it. And Al Hoogie did a good job too, not to clang into it. So the new man in second place. We've got this one here coming down to it, and 129.609. Damon Rees has just lifted the ante a little bit as well. So he's only 0.6 of a second off his own lap record pace from 12 months ago. And a decent 2-second advantage. So look out for this one. Al Hoogie, the defending champion, the hometown hero, he is now in second place, and he's on the charge. We've got Jake Lewis in third, Mitch Rees back in fourth, and then Scotty Moyer on the Pro Moto Dyno Lab GSXR 1000 there in 5th place. So it's all on here, Glenn, and we've just already 4 laps into this one.
Well, Rees has got a 2-second advantage already, and we're only on lap 4. So this is a pretty dominant performance from Damon Rees, and of course he's been hoping to get, well, he will be going back to Europe again, won't he? But fingers crossed he can get a good season over there with COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. He wasn't scheduled to race in this championship, but Boris put the UK back in lockdown for another few weeks over the last week, and Damon sort of thought, well, hey, I'm not sure when I can go back. I don't want to be down on race pace or rusty, so I'm going to go and have a go at this. And he's turned up. He won race 1. Unfortunately, a mechanical DNF in the second one, and now he is flying. So this is all on here. We've got action aplenty as Mitchell Rees now piling on the pressure. So Jake Lewis, he lost the position a lap ago to his teammate, and now we're under fire again. So look out for this one as the 62 of Mitchell Rees starts piling on the pressure, and he's dragging along Scotty Moore with him as well. So 1 for David Rees, and Hoogie, and then a 3-way fight for the podium. All important championship points up for grabs, and of course we're going to give away the Grand Prix title as we see Alissa Hugenbosen responds with a 1:21.212, so 10th of a second at lap record pace, and he was 4/10 quicker than Damon Rees on that lap as well. So this one here is on finish here, Glenn.
Yeah, we're certainly on a hot pace, aren't we? And it looks like, well, fingers crossed, we might see the lap record go. We'll see. We're on lap 4 of 16 here at the New Zealand Grand Prix for the Superbikes here at Ruapuna. I hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Sky Sport Next. At the moment, it's Damon Rees from Whakatane who's leading at the moment. Al Hugenbosen has from Nelson currently holding in 2nd place at the moment, and Brad, I don't know about you, but it looks like he might be just slightly cutting into that lead at the moment, and then we've got a very good battle for 3rd place, which I feel will continue right the way through the 16-lapper.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be all on here. We're going to change to 3rd position as well. Mitchell Rees goes up the inside and gets the job done, but Jake Lewis going to argue straight back, not going to be there. Oh, they almost touching fairings in there. Mitchell Rees runs it a bit deep, and Jake's going to take that line there. They're side by side through the dipper, and Mitchell's going to hang on to the line. This is frantic pace, and meanwhile, while these guys go like that, it's going to play into the top 2's advantage. They're going to sneak off into the distance, but have a look at that gap there, Glenn. That's definitely not the same gap they had a lap ago. So the man on the mission is the number 1, the defending Superbike champion, with that battle for the podium. These guys are giving it everything.
Yeah, it's a great race as we see the riders complete the 5th lap, and it is a gap now for Rees of 0.8 of a second, so it's come right back by over a second. So great riding here from El Hoogie, and this battle for 3rd. Fingers crossed for the fans. We're going to get a lot of changes for 3rd place at the moment. Looks like we're getting close to Rees again. It's Mitch Rees hunting Lewis, and it's the same part of the track again, Brad, where these two are dueling it out.
Oh, this is brilliant stuff. Well done to Jake Lewis. He's really come out with the gloves off here. Mitchell Rees just can't find a way to make that move stick. This is all on. We've got a new track record as well, so a new lap record for Alissa Hugenbosen. He's really on fire in a 16-lap race. To do that early on is absolutely brilliant. So a 1:21.186, that's only 3/1000ths of a second. Better than Damon Simon, but it all counts. It's, we go to 1,000th of a second here with our brilliant MXT motocross and track timing, and they're bringing us world-class events like this one here, but that one there, less than a second now, separating our top 2 in the New Zealand Grand Prix. Good stuff in 3rd place. Jake Lewis defending like a trooper there, and we've got Mitchell Rees and Scotty Moyer. So they've sort of, while they've been fighting, they've bunched up a little bit, and don't discount Daniel Medham and Sloane Frost, who have caught up to that 3-way fight. So we could have a 5-way battle here for the 3rd place on the podium, Glenn.
Here comes the end of the 6th lap, and that battle for 3rd continues. We've just seen no change at the top. Rees has crossed the start-finish line to complete the 6th lap, just waiting for those times to tick over to see what his advantage was. It was 0.8 of a second on the previous lap. It's 0.798, so it's a similar margin between 1st and 2nd at the moment. Again, nothing between Rees, Moyer and Lewis, who's currently holding 3rd place. Lewis, of course, finishing 4th in the 2 races so far. Very good effort from him so far. In fact, he finished 3rd in the 2nd race this morning. Mitch Rees will be hoping to continue to score heavily in this race as well too, Brad, because 2 seconds so far, even though you might not win, with 3 races per round, 4 rounds in total, every point could count.
Yeah, we had Al Hoogie. He had a DNF in race 1 with a mechanical failure, and his brother Damon had a mechanical DNF in race 2. So finishing twice on the podium, he's going to be right in the mix for the overall for the weekend. But this one here is brilliant. The 2 in the front, there's less than half a second in that battle, but this one here is now a full-on 4-way fight. This is the podium for the New Zealand Grand Prix up for grabs. It's still with Jake Lewis ahead of Mitchell Rees, but now look at Scotty Moyer on the Pro Moto Dyno Lab, CD Vandermeer Builder Suzuki there, and now look at the number 34, former New Zealand Superbike champion, the Coleman Suzuki of Daniel Medham is now in the mix as well. And then not far back from there, we've got a former Superbike champion in Sloane Frost right in the mix. So this is the battle we're looking at. Awesome Sky Sport update. It was Jake Lewis, Mitchell Rees, Scotty Moyer, Daniel Medham and Sloane Frost. 5 of the best going out for the battle on the podium as Alistair Hugenbotham goes under his lap record again.
Yes, he has. Now there's been an issue. What's happened?
So we've got drama here. We've got drama.
Hugenbotham could be off. Yes, and in fact, we've got a red flag coming out here at the New Zealand Grand Prix.
Oh, drama here. We've got a red flag, and it's Al Hoogie. He's up and okay and walking, but down in turn 1 after he just set the fastest lap anyone had ever gone around Ruapuna on a motorcycle, and he is gutted, absolutely in despair. So looks to be up and okay, but that Blue Crew Yamaha in the gravel trap at turn number 1. So with that there, 9 laps still to go. We're definitely in line for a Superbike Grand Prix restart as we see the drama unfold, Glenn.
Wow, this is a great shame, isn't it? Hugenbotham was coming right back into it against Damon Rees, who led from the start of the race. So we have a red flag, unfortunately, here at Ruapuna. And just for the good folk who might be tuning in for the first time, Brad, just tell us the rules here. What constitutes a restart and what doesn't?
So if you do 66% of the race, that's declared as a result. But in a 16 lap with 9 still to go, that'll be a restart. And once you've done more than 2 laps, it'll be a restart with those 9 laps remaining. So that's the update on the rule. If you hadn't done the 2 laps, it would be a full restart. But after 2 laps, you restart the remainder of the race. So that one there is all on here. And Damon Rees, well, he was starting to get under a lot of pressure from Al Hoogie, and someone had to give, and this time it was Al Hoogie who's ended up down there in turn 1. So a bit of drama here. We'll keep you updated when we know what's going on here with the red flag at the moment. So they'll come back into Parc Fermé, whack the tyre warmers on, and wait for the officials to make the call.
All right. Well, let's just hope that Hugenbotham will only be suffering from her pride at the moment. He looked very disappointed, didn't he? I think was the body language that we saw from him after coming right back into contention after Rees made the hottest of hot starts.
Yeah, and also a point to make as well that Al Hoogie, he's crashed and he was the cause of that red flag. So if you have an accident or aren't running while the red flag comes out, you can't make the restart either. So that's just even more drama. He already had a mechanical DNF on the Saturday, and now this one here, he's going to have to watch the restart of the Grand Prix from the pits.
Wow, that's frustrating for him, isn't it? 3-time New Zealand champion, unable to come back into the race. So still on a red flag here at Ruapuna, here at the Mike Pero Motorsport Park. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Sky Sport Next. But this, of course, race is just the first of 7 that we've got coming up on the program this afternoon. Each of them, except for the last one, has a New Zealand Grand Prix title up for grabs today. And we hope to be back with more news and information for you in just a moment, so stay with us. If you're just joining us here on Sky Sport Next, just reminding you that we're on a red flag at the moment. With Alistair Hugenbosom going down at the end of the first corner. He's going to be okay. And we'll get a restart to this race very shortly, with the Grand Prix title still up for grabs, but sadly, Hugenbosom won't be part of it. Good news is I think everything's all cleared over at the end of the first turn. So we're just waiting for the bike and the rider himself to come back to the start-finish line. So we've just been given the news from race control that this restart will happen in 5 minutes. And just in front of us, I can tell you that Hugenbosom is limping, but he is walking unaided at the moment, which is very good news. And fingers crossed he gets the all clear from the medical people, and we'll see him back racing before too long.
And a shout out to the Ruapuna Motorsport Rescue crew with the IV vehicle today, supplied by MTF Finance Rescue Vehicle, supplied by Wasteco. Thank you to them. 4 vehicles they've given for ready response around the track. And that was the example. The officials had called it because of the proximity to the track where he was, and it was deemed as it could be dangerous to other riders. So red flag, meaning a halt to the race, and we'll do the restart as Brad has explained. A shout out to our rescue crew today. We've got Aaron, Connor, Corey, Grant, Jason, Steve, Richard and Rob. So certainly a group of cool guys all amongst those various vehicles. Some of them will go to some parts of the track and others will cover the rest. And here it is, our Wasteco vehicle just coming along as a crash recovery of Al's bike, unfortunately. We see in the program, in fact, that Al's shown as being from Nelson, and unless there's been a change in the last week that I'm not aware of, we know, of course, him as a local man, so I think that's what we'll call it. I was just looking to see if I could spot somebody from the family and get confirmation, but don't see that. Maybe after the race will be too late. But here we are with our Wasteco crash recovery back in. The bike goes back to the pits, and the unfortunate, I suppose, inevitable of that is... he is unable to restart in this race for the Grand Prix title. So he'll be gutted with that. To end the day, effectively on 26 points. So he got 1 point for being top qualifier, and he's had the 1 win today. So only 26 out of a possible 76 points is going to make that defending that #1 plate very hard. So he's going to have to put some consistency together for the remaining races for the rest of the rounds. So there we are. Also, a shout out, as we've got a little bit of time to cover it. Thanks indeed to the Bears Club here in conjunction with Affordable Storage, Scott Structural and Heath Bodiger. Thank you guys. They're putting up a $5,000 incentive for riders to do the 6 rounds of the Bears Winter Series in the lightweight 400 class, so effectively on the KTM 390, and an opportunity to be involved in that money. I won't go through the fine details, there's a little bit involved, but hey, thank you to the Bears Club, Affordable Storage, Scott Structural and Heath Bodiger, and putting together that bonus. So effectively, you've got a KTM, a Bears bike, in other words, British European in that case, of course, and Bears Motorcycle doing the Winter Series, and then a chance to get that package to go racing in the National. So that is fantastic. So well done. There's an opportunity to support people out of a club level event to promote them so that they can go and do national racing. $5,000 will cover a lot of costs for a neat little motorcycle like that. So well done. Thank you, Bears. All part of racing here in mighty Canterbury.
Not too far away from a race restart at the New Zealand Grand Prix for the Superbikes after the elimination of El Hugenbosom, who crashed at the end of the, I just want to say the start of the 8th lap. I think it was the start of the 8th lap, Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, so the highs and lows of Superbike racing just set the fastest lap of anyone that's ever gone around this track, and absolutely flying. But then the very next corner ends up just losing the bike and down in the gravel trap, unable to make the restart. We've got a full 9-lap restart coming up here. So we've had the 5-minute call a couple of minutes ago. Can't be far away from getting bikes back on track. And our New Zealand Superbike Grand Prix title up for grabs, and the 9-lap restart will get underway without our defending Superbike champion. Al Hugi unfortunately had the crash and will not be able to make the restart.
Indeed, and the riders just coming back into the pits now to get set for the restart. Still plenty of talent out there with the Rees brothers, Sloane Frost, Jake Lewis, Richie Dibbin, Scott Moyer, all still ready to go. Jake Lewis as well. It's a new race, isn't it now, Brad? For these guys, it's what's just happened is history, and they've just got to put it out of their minds and start from scratch.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to play into some people's hands. It's going to be a detriment to others. Damon Rees, he had a comfy advantage with Al not there, so now he's going to have to do all the hard work again, and it's only going to be 9 laps. So this one here, all on. We've got the New Zealand Grand Prix titles up for grabs. We give away one in each championship class this afternoon, and we kick it off with our first big one, the New Zealand Grand Prix title for our New Zealand Superbike Championships. We've got bikes back on track, so we'll keep an update on this one here. But some late weekend drama for the defending champion.
Tell me about it. Oh, you want a duel, don't you? That's the thing with these great riders. When you're getting 2 or 3 going at it, as we saw that great battle for third that was unfolding with the 4 riders there, and potential for multiple changes of position. That's what you want to see. As the riders come back out on to Mike Pirro Motorsport Park, the 3.4 kilometre Ruapuna Speedway here, and so the riders just going through their warm-up lap before we'll get them back on the start-finish line for a restart. And then it's just going to be a 9-lapper until the end. And we'll find out who our champion will be. Will it be Damon Rees, who will be defending his New Zealand Grand Prix title from last year, or will someone like his brother Mitch come up and challenge him? Mitch will need a good start.
Yeah, Mitch has had a shocking start both races today so far, so if he gets that right, he'll certainly be a factor. We've got some good pace coming on from Scotty Moyer and Daniel Medham. In that last one, they caught right up to that battle and got themselves in podium contention, so if they can get a good start as well. It's only a 9-lapper now, so throw the strategies out the window. Just drop the visor and go racing now. It's all on for this one now, Glenn.
It sure is. Good luck to all the other riders in this race as well. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later on this afternoon, our next race will be a Grand Prix title in the Pro Twins class. And then we'll have the Super Sport 600s, the 300s, the 150s, and the sidecars to conclude the Grand Prix titles. And then we'll have one race at the end too for the 250 production class. Every rider on a Kawasaki Ninja 250, which is always fun. And we had a cracking race in that class earlier today. So here come the riders in the Superbikes back to the start-finish line to have the restart here at Ruapuna So we'll have
all right,
Mitch Rees in 62, Damon Rees in 92. There's the distinguishing, and the other rider on the front there is Sloane Frost. So those are the three as we get ready for the restart now of the New Zealand Grand Prix. 16-lapper becomes a 9-lapper. No Al Hugenbosen, who crashed out of the main race. So here we go for the restart in the New Zealand Grand Prix in the Superbikes class. Damon Rees at the front with his brother alongside him, and they're away again. And Mitch Rees has got a better start this time as he drifts out to the right, but it's going to be Damon Rees who leads at the first corner.
Yeah, much better start from Mitchell, but he's in a bit of trouble. He's got Scotty Moyer up into second place, and Jake Lewis is going to come up the inside and challenge there. So side by side down the Liquid Molly straight here at Mike Pero Motorsport Park, and it's going to be the 29 of Jake Lewis. He continues to get that Blue Crew Yamaha up the front end of this field, but Scott Moyer is going to try and argue back. This is going to be brilliant. These guys are all on here, and Mitchell Rees is coming to the party as well as Scotty Moyer just runs it a little bit deep into the Euromark left-hander and gifts that position to Mitchell. Mitchell's going to want to try and tack onto the back of his little brother. He is flying at the moment, the 92 on the Team Rees Honda. He was in scintillating form at the Cemetery Circuit just on 3 weeks ago, and now bringing that into New Zealand Superbike Racing. Al Hoogie just set the lap record and unfortunately went down, so we've got plenty of drama unfolding in this one here. 9-lap restart, and these guys are giving everything already, Glenn.
Yeah, Damon Rees in front at the moment from Whakatane. His brother is in third place at the moment. Sitting between them is Jake Lewis, and we've got another rider who's down well out the back, though. We'll get confirmation of who that is. In fact, there's two of them. There's two of them who have gone down out the back, but we're still under a green flag. So racing continues here in the restarted New Zealand Grand Prix. Yes, it's Damon Rees to complete the first lap of 9. Lewis is second, and it's Mitch Rees in third, just ahead of Moyer, who's challenging hard. In fact, he's just drifted past Mitch Rees for third place.
Yeah, we've got a red flag now, so we've gone to a red flag situation. So this is even more drama as we've gone to a red flag. Those bikes down and look to be just off the track, so in a dangerous position. And we've got more and more drama as another red flag in the New Zealand Superbike Championships. And that is quite drama-filled here. We didn't even get one lap of the 9-lap restart done, and that will be that.
Yes, indeed. We are going to see who the two riders are in just a moment. We'll try and identify them. This is where you kind of hope that you have a pair of high-powered binoculars to see who the riders are. But what a shame. Fingers crossed, we hope those two riders are okay. It looks like both of them are walking okay at the moment. Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, so in New Zealand road racing rules, you cannot restart a race more than once, so that will be, they might be able to declare that if they've declared the first part of that race as a result, they can give half points for a half race, but we'll leave the officials to make the big call there, but no further restarts will be made there, so a potential here for no one to become the New Zealand Grand Prix title holder for 2021. So wow, we're only just into this Grand Prix section, and already so much drama.
Jeepers. Well, we can tell you one of the riders is David Hall, who's crashed out in that latest incident. Yeah, it looks like number 55 is another one, Jaden Carrick. So those two look to be okay at the moment. Just looking back, there could be a third one down there as well. Brad, there. We're just seeing one of the... Just before where those two are there, we're seeing one bike loaded onto a trailer now. So there actually could be three down there.
So I think there's two different separate incidents there. There's someone else in the carousel as well. So yeah, a strange place for those bikes to end up where Dave and Jaden have ended up. Not a normal place where you'd crash. So we have no idea what's going on there. We missed it on the package. But yeah, a very strange place to end up with a crash motorcycle. And we've also got Heath Boddicker as the man there He's had a crash in the Christchurch Casino Carousel, so wow, that's plenty of drama. 3 of them down in the space of 100 metres on the racetrack, and the second red flag, we'll find out what's happening with the result. It's at race control at the moment, trying to find out what's going on, but yeah, a potential that we could not have a Grand Prix champion here, Glenn.
Well, we'll see, and we'll get word to you as soon as we get that from race control, who are merely, 10 steps above us here at Ruapuna Park Raceway. But first of all, we think all the riders are okay. They're all up and walking around, and they all seem reasonably happy over there. So
you're just having a look at that
drama.
bike. That's a big front end stove in there. So I hope there's the bike's definitely worse where the riders look okay. So yeah,
wow,
could have been anything happened to that machine there. That's had quite a bit of contact up the front.
So second red flag. If you're just joining us, first red flag happened 15 minutes ago when Al Hugenbosen fell at the first corner. So just a matter of waiting for, first of all, the riders and the bikes to come back, the track cleared of any debris, and then we will find out what happens from there. So we're in a holding pattern here on Sky Sport. What a shame, Brad. We've had these 2 crashes in this race.
Oh, it was shaping up to be a thriller, all right. We had all the top guys going at it. And lap 1 into the line, lap restart, we've had 3 go down in a couple of separate incidents. So this one here, and no choice but to go to another red flag. That bike was right on the track, and some marshals on the scene. So full credit to the marshals, getting that straight on scene. And great to see the riders up and walking as well. So plenty of drama, but bear with us. We will find out what's going on and keep you updated with more of this New Zealand Grand Prix weekend of round 1 of NZSBK, the New Zealand Superbike Championships at Mike Perry Motorsport Park. It's quite a nice day here. The clouds just come over, and we should get some really good racing. We're going to give away New Zealand Grand Prix titles in all 7 championship classes throughout the afternoon, so this is going to be good.
Thanks for staying with us here on Sky Sport. We're at Ruapuna, and we are still waiting for the official word of what's happening after the second red flag in the Superbike New Zealand Grand Prix title. And just to see whether there will be a winner declared. We know, Brad Ritchie, that there's one thing that's definitely decided is we won't have another restart, but we might be the process just going through at the moment.
Yeah, so it's with the stewards at the moment, so you cannot restart a race more than once, so that's definitely not going to happen again. But with the two combined, they did cross the line before the red flag, so that's one more lap to the tally, so it might be enough to award a half point. We're not sure. It's with the stewards at the moment because it is quite a dynamic finish. It's about the, it's a sort of a lightning in a bottle type of situation that's happened here. A very rare occasion. So it's with the stewards at the moment to see if we can announce a Grand Prix champion, but it's with the stewards at the moment, so we can't announce anything officially. It's working on at the moment, but do bear with us. We'll keep that announcement. But what we can tell you is we will not be seeing our superbikes back on track, and all focus is now go to a bit of a clean-up there. Just coming out of the Christchurch Casino Carousel, it's a very awkward place for a bike to have an accident, so hope everyone's okay down there and ready to go. Carry on with our program here. Coming up next with our Pro Twin Grand Prix, and these guys have been racing pretty hard and fast throughout the weekend, so this one should be a pretty good one, Glenn.
Yeah, we've got 11 riders in that category, which will be out shortly. And the hot favourite will be Carl Hooper with 2 wins out of 2 so far this weekend. SJ Cavill, though, will be on his tail again with 2 seconds. So we'll have that as our next race. So stay with us here on Sky Sport. Apologies for the delay, but we'll be bringing you news and the official decision from the stewards very shortly.